Hello, welcome back to Learn Economia. Here I am with a new video, a new concept, that is technological liberalism. I know that the concept is altogether not new to you because we have already discussed this topic where we have covered the concept and meaning of technological liberalism. Also, we have considered the assumptions of technological liberalism theory. We have seen that technological dualism is a concept that was introduced by Higgins, and he had reference to underdeveloped economies where he could identify two different sectors. First is the modern industrial sector, and secondly there was traditional agriculture sector as well. Having understood that, we are going to see the details of the aspect or the topic of technological dualism. So as we have covered in the earlier video, here in the industrial sector, there are plantations, mines, oil fields, altogether large-scale industries come under the modern industrial sector. Here, capital-intensive technical coefficient, capital-intensive production possibilities are there with fixed technical coefficient. As a result, the factors have to be combined in fixed proportions. At the same time, if you look at the agriculture sector, where there are producing foodstuff, handicraft, very small industries, etc., technical coefficients are changeable. That means that different alternative combinations of labor and capital can be used here. And here in this figure, you could see OQ1. This is a level of output that is produced by combining OL1 levels of capital and OK1 units of labor, OL1 levels of labor and OK1 units of capital. While Q2 points, Q2, Q3 and Q4 represent higher levels of output. That is possible only with increasing capital and labor in the same proportion. As a result, point A, B, C, etc. show fixed combination of capital and output that are used to produce different levels of output. Now, if you connect point A, B, C, etc., you'll get a path, or if you can connect A, B, C, etc., you'll get a line, and this is known as the expansion path in the industrial sector, and the slope of this line represents constant factor proportion. Since there are fixed technical coefficients, the excess labor supply will not affect the production techniques in the modern industrial sector. As a result, some labor will become unemployed here. It is only with the capital stock increases it will be possible to absorb the excess labor in the modern industrial sector. Otherwise, it has to seek employment in the traditional agriculture sector. Now, if you look at the traditional agriculture sector, isocons Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4, these show variable proportions or the variable coefficients of production. In order to produce more levels of output, what we have to do here is that we have to increase the supply of labor compared to the supply of capital. As a result, good land, which is considered as capital in the traditional agriculture sector, that becomes scarce, and all available land is cultivated with the use of high labor intensive techniques. Now, as a result, because of different production functions, the unemployment and underemployment situations come into play in underdeveloped economies. According to Higgins, the industrial sector uses capital-intensive techniques and fixed technical coefficients, and it is not in a position to create employment opportunities at the rate at which the population grows. Rather, the industrialization reduces employment in this sector. As a result, the rural sector is considered to be an alternative to absorb the surplus labor that are generated in the modern industrial sector. In the beginning, it is possible to absorb the additional labor by bringing more land under cultivation. This leads to optimal combination of land and labor. Land and labor. That is, land, as we have already seen, that land is considered to be the capital in the traditional agriculture sector. So, after reaching the optimal combination of labor and capital, eventually good lands will come to scarcity. The ratio of labor to capital in that sector rises, and techniques becomes increasingly variable in this sector. Ultimately, all land are cultivated by high labor intensive techniques, and marginal productivity of labor becomes zero or negative. That is the case of disguised unemployment. Thus, The growth of population, discuss unemployment begins to appear. Under these circumstances, farmers have no incentives either to invest more capital or to introduce more labor-saving techniques. As a result, the techniques of production, the productivity of labor, and socio-economic life all will remain a low level in the rural sector. In the long run, what is possible is that technological progress will happen, but this does not help in removing the disguised unemployment that happened in the agriculture sector. Rather, it tends to increase the number of disguised unemployment. The situation is further aggravated by keeping wage rates artificially high by trade union or by government policies. For high industrial wages related to productivity provide an incentive to producers for introducing labor-saving techniques, and thereby diminishes the further capacity of industry sector to absorb surplus labor. Accordingly, these factors increase technological realism in underdeveloped economies. This is what is said by Higgins. With that, we are going to end this video. I request you to like, share, and subscribe this channel for more videos, and thank you for watching.